Good morning, YouTube. Leon here. Sunday morning, about 20 to 11 Eastern time. Got a cup of coffee. Got a pipe, which I don't think you guys have seen this one before. It's a Brian Doran Beans 316. It's another one of his, but it's a one of his partially finished ones. So he gets some pipes from another maker that just need a little bit, finish drilling, finish sandblasting or whatever. And so it doesn't have Brian's stamp on it because he didn't do all the work, but he sells them at a little bit of a discounted price. So, I mean, to be fair, all of Brian's pipes are very, very reasonably priced. So I'm enjoying a bowl of H.H. Bold Kentucky on this bright Sunday morning. And I wasn't going to make another video until I got the results, or not results, but until I heard back about the last interview I had. And I have not heard back yet. My company is not known for being quick about things. Which is honestly why I was so surprised when I went from the TA pre-interview to the regular interview the next day. That shocked me. But so I'm hoping to hear this week, but I haven't heard yet. But this is a video response to nature photography guy, Brody Joe. He asked us to talk about, he gave 3 subjects. You'll have to forgive me. I watched his video yesterday. I'm making the response today, Sunday. I watched it Saturday. We're making the response Sunday. So I don't remember what the other 2 topics are because I knew that the topic I wanted to talk about was a memory of a birthday. He said, talk about one of your birthdays, one of your best birthdays, one of your worst birthdays, just a story about your birthday. So I actually have 2 birthdays that I want to talk about. And they're my 2 favorite birthdays. So, my first one was when I turned 17. Obviously still in high school at that point. Had some friends. And my friends, I had 2 separate friend groups, basically. One friend group which contained who I considered to be my best friend, was more about, we were on the rugby team and we hung out at his now wife's aunt's, like, they called it the doghouse and stuff like that. And then the other friend group, the one that was involved with it, they were both kind of, but the main one involved in this birthday was the video game TCG friend group. And on my 17th birthday, my parents allowed me to throw a party of sorts at our house where I was able to invite, I think, 8 or 10 people that showed up. My best friend showed up, even though he wasn't huge into like TCGs, but he did like video games. We played Halo a lot and stuff. So he played Halo and stuff like that. And then the other friend group, we all played Magic the Gathering most of the night. But that was just my parents, relative to my age, are a little bit older. They had me later in life. So as you can imagine, having a bunch of 17, 18, 19-year-olds running around was not exactly their idea of a great time. But when I tell you that my mom went all out to make that such a cool birthday for me, made me a cake, fixed everybody dinner, had just tons of, I think she made taco salad that night, had just tons of food for everybody. It was just, that was the coolest kid birthday that I remember. And yeah, I still consider myself a kid at that point. That was the coolest kid birthday that I remember, for sure. I haven't seen some of those guys in 15 years at this point. We still connect on Facebook and stuff, but, you know, it's not the same. It's not the same as seeing people. But we are, and when I say we in this instance, I mean my brother and I, because we live together, we are 100% attempting to get back up north to, north, meaning out of Florida. We're trying to get back up to a place where they have seasons and snow and not hot soup when you walk outside. So the second birthday I wanted to talk about was actually this past one, just 2 months ago. Not even. No, actually a month ago. Yeah. We went to Kissimmee, grabbed a cheap hotel for the night. It was a decent hotel, but it wasn't, it was a great deal, and it was not the lap of luxury, but it served its purpose. And we spent the whole weekend hanging out with my cousin and his wife and just playing board games and just tabletop games and just going to card shops, and we had great food, and it was just such a cool little getaway. And I haven't had something like that in a while, a little getaway. And it meant that was the best weekend I've had since the first birthday I talked about. I had such a good time that weekend. Oh, it was just perfect. So, yeah, those are the 2 weekends I wanted to talk about. We have a lot of birthdays, and I think most people get to a point where you don't even really want to celebrate your birthday anymore. It's just kind of a reminder of, oh goodness, I'm another year older. I'm another year closer to whatever. And like right now, especially, our family's going through that. My grandmother, who I think I've talked about before on here, but she turned 97 this January, last month. Unfortunately, has just within the last week and a half or so been diagnosed with stage 5 kidney failure. So the end is nigh for my grandmother, and she is the matriarch of our family, for sure, and has been for a long time. And it is going to be a difficult task to transition to life without her. I know usually you think, when you think of who it's going to be difficult for, the first person would be the children. My aunt is staying with her full-time to help care for her at the moment. Obviously, when your kidneys go, they don't filter the toxins. That affects the mind. You need care. They won't give her dialysis at 97 for obvious reasons. nor does she have the option for a transplant. But she's ready. She's told me as much. And this was 6-7 years ago. She never expected to outlive my grandfather by this many years. My grandfather passed in 1994. She never expected to outlive him by this long. So, she's ready. But it's going to be difficult, for sure. Anyways, so I say all that just to bring home that thought of mortality. Kind of gets to us after a while. But anyways, I wanted to talk about my 2 birthday memories for Brody Joe. Bring up my grandmother, ask for prayers, thoughts, good vibes, that it's peaceful. The end is near, and we know that. I just hope that it's not uncomfortable for her. And I know she's going to spend the rest of eternity with Jesus at this point, so she's going to be much happier than we are. But, alright guys, I'm going to quit rambling. I've been rambling now. We're at 12 minutes already. Goodness. Brody Joe, I appreciate the prompt. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday. Great week ahead. As soon as I hear back about the job, I'll let everybody know. And we'll talk to you next time. See ya. Thank you, Greg.